I'm in the sunglasses club within the J. Slater case. Can we assume that all people within the case are sinister? They have something to hide. Did they wear sunglasses? Or do we assume anything? Or do we make some sort of connection with certain things that are happening? Is it something that is really, really frowned upon? Is it so bad that we might be perhaps not assuming things, but brainstorming things? I'll take you into more of a psychological profile or a view of the witnesses. Some people get really, really angry if I say one or two of them may be even thought of as suspects. But let's discuss that a bit further, shall we? Grab that drink. It can be water. If you're driving, use hands-free. Switch that volume up. Carry on working. Relax. And listen to Our Don's Reviews and True Crime. You can hear me all right. The mic it tends to crackle as the video goes along. That's why I was going to make short videos and cut them up. I can't be bothered. I'll try and edit. If it crackles, I'll try and edit as we go, and I take more time. I use my time. I don't mind because it's all for you. Let's discuss. So, sunglasses. Who wears sunglasses? Put down in the comments of all the people. I can think of. I'm copying Duncan on this one. He wore his €1.50 sunglasses. These aren't probably far off actually. I did used to buy expensive glasses, but I used to lose them all the time. What's the other thing I used to lose? There was another thing as well. Anyway, you go in a public loo or something, you leave them on the top. You've got the hand dryer and things, and you just lose them. You leave them in there. So why would I spend a fortune on sunglasses? I do a lot of cycling as well, and remember the Oakleys and things like that. I used to get a bit of sponsorship from Oakley, and why would I have even if they're free? Why would I have a pair of Oakleys on if I lose them all the time? So I use the cheap ones. They're readily available, and I can lose them, and it doesn't matter. So yeah, so going back, I can think of 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 people within the J. Slater case who are involved, who wear glasses. No significance whatsoever, actually, no significance. But let's go back on assuming. Do we assume things? We do assume things, don't we, really? I think it can be bad if we're directly accusing somebody of doing something like somebody. It probably wouldn't bother me if someone said that I've murdered someone or something. It would be an attention-seeking thing for me, so it would give me attention, so I probably wouldn't mind actually, but some people do mind. So if we call it brainstorming, something that Duncan mentioned actually, Duncan again, he's putting in an awful lot of time into his videos and he's not getting paid for it, but he does put a fair number of videos up and he seems to be on to something, sometimes not perhaps. Yeah, Bradley, you went missing. I can speak to you directly. If you're watching, yeah, carry on watching, that's fine. In your interview with Isla, who believed everything that you said, which you might be telling the truth, but who knows? But it seemed that you weren't. Because you didn't mention that you went missing for 5 hours. If somebody interviewed you, you'd probably drop that into the conversation that you went missing for 5 hours. You would probably mention that you were taking, or perhaps Jay was taking drugs for recreational use, which isn't, as far as I'm aware of. I don't know much about drugs because I've never touched one in my life, apart from alcohol, coffee, and prescription drugs. But it's not illegal for own use, is it? So you probably would have mentioned that he used drugs for his own use, and perhaps you were using drugs. Do you mind saying that on camera if you were using drugs for your own use? Alcohol has a similar effect, doesn't it? So I wonder what that taboo is. You're not doing anything illegal, so you wouldn't mention that, and you wouldn't mention going missing for 5 hours. Or did you? Maybe you didn't. And why wasn't, as Duncan said, why wasn't it reported? So we're assuming that it wasn't reported. Perhaps it was. Perhaps that somebody got hold of you through your phone. You'd keep ringing, wouldn't you? You're annoying to keep ringing somebody's phone or texting until they answer because you'd be worried about them. So somebody presumably got hold of you. If they didn't, then you probably would report it. You'd be a bit worried. So what was the big thing about Lucy reporting Jay going missing? Because something was going on, wasn't there? It wasn't only he dropped a location, something was going on surrounding that. And Lucy, you've already said you knew about the knives and you were worried, and he was a marked man within his texts, his Snapchat. I still don't know whether we found those Snapchats or we haven't had any report from the inquest, which was supposed to be a public inquest. The public have some of the public donated to the GoFundMe. Haven't they got a sort of a right to know, a right to be interested, to know where the money has helped out? So why? So the mind's a wonderful thing in some ways. It protects, it reacts. So you were probably scared to go directly to Jay's location. When you knew his location, you didn't go straight there. Probably a bit afraid because of what was surrounding with the knives, etc. Thinking, oh, I'm not going there. I'll walk into a trap or something. So something was going on, wasn't there? We can assume. Is that okay if we brainstorm? What are we, conspiracy theorists? So a lot of brainstorming, a lot of assuming. Yeah, relating Duncan to what he said about Luggy. There is an ongoing dispute, and I haven't got a clue. It just goes on and on, goes up. And I don't know what's going on because it sort of raises each time with each exchange. Don't know. I can pinpoint why he's saying certain things now. So he's assuming things about the supply. I've said it in the past about the supply of drugs to the island. It would be coming by boat, presumably. Or, I don't know, I can't think of a way that it'd come through airports. It wouldn't come through designated airports. Private jets maybe, privately landing aircraft, helicopters and boats. So it comes from somewhere, doesn't it? It might be grown. Is it grown within the island? I really don't know, but if it does come over from somewhere, it's normally on a boat. And he relates you have a boat. Do you have two boats, or is it one boat? And it's called the Naughty Boy. So we could assume from that, is he a naughty boy? Does that mean something? Why did he name it the Naughty Boy? Or did he buy it and it was already named Naughty Boy? We can assume. But I'm not going to do that because there isn't enough evidence. There isn't really, I don't think there's any evidence at all really to connect the two. And whether there's any illegal activity from you lugs, I would say not. No. So, but it's interesting, isn't it, to make certain connections and assumptions with things. We do that all the time. That's the problem with our minds. They tend to run away sometimes. That's why you get some channels, they run away with themselves. And it gets a bit ridiculous in my mind. The Maruba boats, we had one thing of that going missing off the radar for a certain amount of time. Happened to be the amount of time that when Jay went missing. But then again, we can't run away with ourselves. And then we linked certain videos. They were fuzzy type videos. That's the trouble. We've got fuzzy type information like the the CCTV. It looked exactly like the lads, didn't it? Across the square, by the church there, by the bins. It looked exactly like them, but we're not totally there. Just need some clearer CCTV. I think nowadays if some modern CCTV gets injected into somewhere, then into buildings, etc., it's pretty good now, isn't it? It's all pretty clear, and it's all 4K. Is it 4K, 2K imaging, 4K imaging? It's all pretty clear, and you can certainly on the bike. I'm getting something fitted again. I don't know where my other ones. I so many cameras. I don't know where they go, but they do disappear. They're like my sunglasses, really. But I'm getting a clearer image, and number plates from far away, they suddenly show up in 4K image rather than 1080. A bit like 4K when it shows up all the wrinkles on your face. I don't want anything. I don't want anything higher. I don't want my wrinkles showing. Yeah, strange. A bit vain, really, isn't it? Warts and all. Maybe I should come out warts and all. But there we go. I am pushing 58 years of age. I hate getting old. I'm digressing. So psychology is going to play a big part within this case and a lot of other cases. And we've got the inquest. I won't say it's an inquest to look forward to, but we've got the inquest. I still have my paperwork, which I'm adapting to try and fit all the questions in to make it user friendly. I'm getting it typed up. It's going to be all neatly typed and then presented to Christopher Long or his admin people, or admin place, or admin centre, wherever they deal with that. I would like to speak to them directly, really, about it, not just to hand it over, because it would just be probably... That would be nice, Christopher, if you're watching, which you won't be, but it'd be nice if you can make a connection with everybody. And if there is a conclusion, and you come up with good evidence that supports that 100%, conclusion that he fell and there was nothing else surrounding it, no illegal activity surrounding the timeline within J, then we would take that and we would walk away with that. We'd probably even make videos about it saying that was the case. But at the moment we do not have 100% evidence, not even really evidence as such that he fell. We have a report, an autopsy report, which people actually just believe. Oh, well, it was a head injury, so it was a fall. How can you say a head injury? How can you say that was a fall, an exact fall? It's bizarre, isn't it, really? And going back to the inquest or said investigation, which I would have thought would be happening because there's too much going on for the DCIs to sit back and not do their job. Excuse me for if I'm being rude in any way. I do apologise in advance, but investigations would be going on now. It's crazy because there is illegal activity and people are complaining about the illegal activity that's crossed over or appears to have crossed over, we assume, onto Jay's timeline, and this lad has lost his life because we haven't opened up all that information. So if the inquest takes place, or the investigation, hopefully the investigation, as well as who would we like to see in the dock, and not like to see, but who do we think that will crack first? They've already cracked as such in the phone calls, not interviews as such, but phone calls from Mark Williams Thomas. We had them crack. A language expert would have a field day with those, well, not the body language expert because you couldn't see anything, but certainly a language expert with the way their voices were lowering and getting excitable at certain points when they were asked questions. Lucy did flap and panic, and people were very defensive in ways as well as they were telling lies. I don't care if it was good lies. We will tell, not we all, but most of us perhaps. A large proportion of us tell white lies. There were some white lies being told about knowing Ahab, knowing his name. Very sinister. Ahab didn't want to mention Rocky's name. Very sinister. If he was in the clear, had nothing to hide, he would have mentioned his name. He must have known that the name would have got found out anyway. And actually the name it was us. It was Duncan. We found out who Rocky's real name was. It was Duncan, or one of his team, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Put down in the comments. But yeah, so that wasn't the police or DCI or MWT. He picked that up from us. So we do our work, don't we? We certainly do our work. And hey, police, you can find out things from us, you know, asking the public, as you do in many cases. People that find dead bodies, they're members of the public normally. It worked out about 68%. They were dog walkers found bodies that were abandoned. That's the public. Oh no, they're conspiracy theorists. It's a bit up your own bottom, just like MWT. Sorry, Mark, you're up your own bottom sometimes and thinking that nobody else is like you and you've got loads of experience. Other people have too. There are other people in that type of work, similar work, who do have experience too, that are online and they work things out, putting a lot of time in and they're working things out. Back to what I was saying, who will crack first? Who will crack first? Yeah, sorry, Stephen Rockers. I think you would crack within an interrogation. I don't think you would as such, but you'd end up saying things that incriminated you because you have done that already with the mistruths and holding things back, etc. And you said yourself you didn't want to rat on other people. There's obviously other people that are involved who were in the car. DCI, are you listening? Lewis Kennedy, the other guy in the sunroof, there were other people involved. So your list of witnesses in the coroner's court, you need to add to that. You need to add to it. You need to put Nina Patel in there. Lena Patel? Is it Lena? You need to add to it. LK definitely. And there are other people as well. We didn't even know about Josh Forshaw. So there are other people that need to be added. Can you not do half a job? I'm coming across as very, I don't, must be in a strange sort of mood. It must be the time of the month or something. Coming out as a bit arrogant and pedantic or something. I don't mean to. I'm not normally like that. But it shows how much your moods can come out in what you say, which is going to be the case within the questioning. So, Stephen, I think you'll crack. Bradley, I think, sorry mate, I think you cracked because you cracked in the interview. Lucy, you cracked in the telephone conversation. Brandon, you cracked in the conversation. You were telling lies and it did come out. I don't think any of the Spanish crew will come out as such. There's going to be a translator, isn't there, with Duncan, and he's going to do that for you, help you out with the Spanish. Hopefully they'll be there face to face. That was, I know it's going to be a bigger and it's going to be a drawn out thing, more than a day. But yeah, so that's going to be interesting to whether they're going to come out and say things that weren't so, because we've already had misdirection in what Ophelia saw, whether she saw someone walking away, whether she saw someone at a bus stop, whether there were two other people that saw somebody, remember, somebody who looked like Jay. MWT, adamant, yeah, they saw Jay. The fact that there was a person there, I've already said in the photograph, he was a member of the group that looked exactly like Jay. And we've already uncovered untruths with what the witnesses were saying. They were hiding something. So it's not inconceivable that they can hide further things. They don't want to incriminate other people, don't want to incriminate themselves. So if there's anything to cover up and hide, they do it. Perhaps we'd all do it. But we need to get to the bottom of why. And if there was a lookalike used, or a photograph used, remember the feet and the blanket, the little feet, the smaller feet in a strange picture, strange angle. Just need to get to the bottom of it all, really, don't we? Are we assuming? No, we're not. Really, we're brainstorming because of these, not just making it up out of thin air. There were lies. And there will be more lies in the inquest. That's one thing. You've got That's one thing you've got to realise. And there will be in the inquest police, won't there? There will be further lies. So it's up to you to pull them out. But we'll help you. We can help. And I'm sure some of us will be there to help as well. We'll be there on tap if you need us to help in any way. That's about it for now on this one, and I hope you're all doing very well in the certainly strange British weather. 4 seasons in one day. Rain, sun, cold, humid, heat, everything thrown into the bag. Remember, when you get into the bag tonight, into that sack, don't have any nasty dreams. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Please be careful.